They will don the home white uniforms with red trim. The Cavaliers in their road navy blues with orange trim. Unsurprisingly, the freshman Griff Meyer at the center circle for UVA. And for Stony Brook for a third consecutive game, it is Declan Mitchell.
Yeah, you know, when we always talk about this battle between the two, it's a face-off duel. I don't think you have a starter. You have a guy that's almost like an ace versus another guy, and you test them out.
We are underway on the North Shore. And the freshman, elusive, picks up the first face-off. Quickly into the O-zone, shooting and scoring. It takes 11 seconds for McCabe Millen, his 9th of the season. Welcome back to Long Island.
Yeah, you know, his family roots are in the, actually the Centerport area, I believe, or Huntington area here. And then he just gets his hands free in transition, and he's going to let it fly. And one of the things that Coach Ghilardi said is, like, when they get their hands free and shoot or to score, they're putting it on the goal. And he does a nice job of using his defender as a screen right there. Not much Tommy can do to make that save.
Did we mention Virginia has a high-powered offense, Greg?
And McCabe making us feel good about the selection there for a player to watch.
As we say, never easy to make the broadcasters look smart. Stony Brook gets draw number 2, courtesy of the whistle. There is Will Burney front and center. He garnered some very complimentary words. There's your 10th-ranked NCAA power play unit last year. They bring back a lot of those guys, 70% of their scoring. All 3 of their starting attackmen. And Stony Brook looking for a big-time face-off victory. They will not get it. It is the freshman Meyer still going. Meyer scores! It is a freshman FOCO tally. 2 goals in 8 seconds for Road Virginia. They've got the first 3 here at Stony Brook.
Yeah, and I think this is what you can't have happen if you're Stony Brook, right? You can't allow another fast break goal. I think Stony Brook is reluctant to slide off of the shooters for UVA. They kind of give Meyer the opportunity to kind of like take the shot, but he pays off for UVA there.
Both Stony Brook and Virginia changing up the face-off guy here for draw number 4. Luke Forde against Henry Metz, and the Forde changeup successful again for Stony Brook.
You know, that's a nice ball right there by Gary Correa.
By Anthony Ghilardi, Stony Brook hemorrhages 4 goals in the first 5.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Still searching for their first win of the season. And Greg Taylor, we knew it would not get much easier against number 15 Virginia. They are flexing their muscles here early.
Yeah, absolutely. You knew they were going to come at you, right? But make them earn it. I think on the last one, they got, you know, the defender Della Pizzi got caught in kind of like no man's land there.
The sophomore Luke Forde remains in for Stony Brook, trying to provide some much-needed aid from the face-off circle. 5 tallies from 5 different players for the Cavaliers here in the first quarter, and a whistle-aided face-off victory for Stony Brook. Anything worse for a defense going up against a Millen is another Millen. There are now 2 on the top line for the Cavaliers. Brendan, of course, the #1 recruit in the nation. Their father, Mark, who started at UMass, long professional career also in the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The chase is on. 6 minutes remaining first quarter. Bodies in the carpet, and the Cavaliers emerge yet again.
Wow.
And Greg, this coming with Stony Brook, we've seen in previous weeks, kind of get dominated at the face-off circle. 4-3 through the first 7. And now 4-4 through the first 8.
Stony Brook is 7-1 right now, so obviously lopsided. He hasn't really been tested yet, and if you're Stony Brook, if you can get some good shots on goal and really start to test him, see where he's at, you can put together a run as well, too.
Off the 3rd goal of the season by Colin Williamson. It is another face-off victory for the Cavaliers. Hudson Hausman has speed. Oh, the trailing long stick.
You only have a certain amount of games when you're a college lacrosse player, and to miss one of them and it to be a homecoming game for you, that's really got to be tough for him.
Griff Meyer continues. I mean, if you were to try and build lacrosse players in a factory, probably couldn't do it any better than Brendan and McCabe. We noted their dad, Mark, in the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Their mom, Erin, also in the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame. And they will surely get at least a couple of seasons playing together at the collegiate level as Stony Brook wins the faceoff.
You know, and the older brother, Tony Millen, he was a
different goal scorer for Virginia in this first half. And as noted, now a goal in each of the first 3 games this season. He had just 1 career goal heading into the season. Forde and Meyer to the deck. And screeching on in for Stony Brook for the draw control victory again is Gary Correa. Seawolf still going.
Oh, they're inside, they cut really well, and then when you watch them live, wow, they are fun to watch live. This is a very talented offensive unit here for UVA.
Virginia settled for just 12 goals last week in their 18-12 loss against Richmond. And they have almost hit that marker here in the first half. Now, first game of the season against Colgate, they scored 19 goals. Did give up 14. But Colgate certainly gave them a run, had a third quarter lead in that.
Greenspan.
New blood at Wolfie for UVA, Andrew Greenspan. So he's their third different face-off option today. Luke Forde for SBU, Greenspan the first poke. Loose in open area, and UVA yet again comes up with it in the form of the long stick of Luke Hublitz. They power into the offensive third with numbers. Millen through the wickets.
Start giving the other guys a little bit more of a run to get going with, right? So you get an opportunity to play. Because I felt like Stony Brook had won 1 or 2 face-offs in a row and started to do a nice job. Throw somebody else out there, see what they can do.
And a very frustrated Lars Tiffany will call timeout. It's about as frustrated as Stony Brook tries to mount what would be a big-time comeback against their second consecutive top 20 opponent.
You know, we were talking off air, Johnny. I think it's important to know, like, you don't bring UVA because they're not good. You bring them in because they're really good, and you want to see what you have, right? So they've exposed you a little bit in the first half. Make some adjustments, come back and play a cleaner second half. I think that's what you want to do if you're Stony Brook.
I think it would serve the purpose, and Anthony Gallardi would be the first to it. So the first 3 goals of his NCAA career over the last 2 weeks. The good times.
And a good finish right there.
So the first 3 goals of his NCAA career over the last 2 weeks. The good times roll on here for Virginia. As Meyer looked to have leveraged it free for a teammate, he did. It was the long stick of Ben Boyer. Meyer already with a goal.
I think if you're UVA, obviously, when you have the McCabe, you have Truitt, right? You have Colsey. At this point in time in the game, you're probably, who else are we going to get production from?
Here comes Meyer. Millen, one more. Colsey. Tommy Wilk may have had a piece of it.
He's one of the guys that had action today.
And Williamson, one of the guys Anthony Gallardi said kind of needs to step it up for us offensively. He is a junior on an underclassmen-laden team, kind of serving as a senior. And Griff Meyer, he's a freshman, by the way. He plays like a senior. The Fogo comes up with another face-off victory.
Especially when you feel like a goalie is onto your game, you just duck your chin down a little bit, and it makes the goalie feel like you're going to take a bounce shot, and you put it over his shoulder. That's a crafty move there by Bonacci.
All of that momentum quickly sucked away by the freshman Fogo Meyer. Time and space. Tommy got it again. Another third quarter save.
And the shot clock, feed it to the middle and see what happens. You got nothing to lose.
Meyer and Fuego at the center circle. Big time chop. Stony Brook player lost the stick and Meyer scores. Oh, what an unbelievable individual effort by the freshman, who responds just 13 seconds after Stony Brook tallies.
Yeah, I think if you're Griff Meyer, this is a day that you're definitely going to remember. Right? Not only are you winning face-offs, But you've got 2 goals on the day as well, too. Both of them off of faceoffs. Yeah, and he was able to beat Will Burney because Will Burney's stick actually breaks as he checks it. That's one of those things you go into the locker room and be like, somebody broke their stick on me. You're feeling good about yourself, right? Not only are you scoring goals, winning faceoffs, but people are breaking sticks on you. You had a day when that occurred. That's like the trifecta for a faceoff guy.
Meyer cannot pad the stats here at the end of the third quarter. From distance, Morris comes up with it. 20 combined.
Well, too, you know, growing as a coach, growing as a head coach for the first time of a big college program, and then all the connections he felt like he's made on the island. That's paid dividends for him, certainly.
One of the few.
So, but that's a really nice ride by UVA. It's one of the things I've been impressed with them today is watching them, is they ride hard. They get into that 10-man ride and they force your defenders and your goalie to have to be a part of the clearing game.
Even Kyle Morris getting a part of the gang. He is en route to his first victory of the season. Barring a major comeback here from Stony Brook, he has deserved it. After being the backup really to Jake Marek in the
right. They just are so elusive off ball. They move, they cut. Man, you gotta feed her with their hands free, and somebody's gonna get open for them because they know they're gonna get the ball. So you cut hard when you know you're gonna get the ball, and if everybody shares it the way that they do.
Face-off number 25 goes by way of Virginia. Their 16th victory. Meyer again sniffing blood.
One of the Valley Stream high schools. They have 3 high schools there. He was a product from Valley Stream. He was an excellent coach. He did a really nice job at UVA while he was there.
Mitchell v. Greenspan. It is a whistle-aided victory. And it's going with Stony Brook.
At goal, the Cavaliers number 27, Declan Mitchell.
All right. So
it's UVA. Who do you put the short stick on? And in this scenario, you got a short stick on an attackman, which could happen on 5 different players, right? There's 5 different guys that could be covering or get the short stick.
new goalie in between the pipes for Stony Brook. It is the redshirt freshman Matt Roughgarden. This time Henry Metz doing some of the dirty work at the face-off circle. Forde keeps it alive for Stony Brook. And a really good response from Williamson. Had a 9-game goal streak snapped last Saturday against Rutgers. Did not get into the scoring department at all. And has exploded for 4 of Stony Brook's 7 goals this afternoon. Lots of wax just outside the 40-yard line. Mitchell has an ankle. Still on the carpet. Hungry, hungry Hippos action. Seawolves.
And on the face-off here, Johnny, I think we're seeing Christian Grosso, I believe, for UVA taking the face-off.
You believe correctly, Greg Taylor. He opposes Declan Mitchell. Mitchell appeared to have had it. He is dump trucked at the 25-yard line. And the Wahoos reemerge with possession. Here is Grosso.